Hey YouTube, Mark Coffman here, and today I have a very interesting video for all of you. So my grandfather, he recently passed away, and he passed away at 98 years old, so he wasn't young by any means. He lived a very long life, and my grandmother also passed away at, I believe it was 98, yes. So they both lived a very long life, and he left me they're mine now, but he left me his pocket knives, which are very, very interesting. So let's get into it. So I am going through these as I have thought he may have bought them. Okay, now some of these may have been his father's because I actually don't know. Okay, so I have kind of guessed at which ones were the first versus which ones may have been the latest. So I'm guessing the first one was probably this Congress. Now this is actually a Remington. So this is a Remington modeled knife. There is Remington UMC. And the blades are still very sharp, even though they may not look like it. But I have had no success in getting them all to open. But they're all very well used and very well loved. This is probably, I'm going to guess, let me see if I can get this back. Yeah, see, these back small ones are really tough to get open, but you can see all of them have been used very heavily, and that's the marking there. I haven't really looked it up yet, but has beautiful bone covers, carbon steel springs and blades, nickel silver shield, and I'm guessing this is the first one he bought. It's very heavily used, and I'm going to say it's probably 1940s, maybe late 30s. Now, my grandfather was born in 1924, so there's a very good possibility these are as old as he is. This is the next one I think he bought, and it's a little keychain knife. There's probably a key ring or keychain there. And this one, I've had really no luck in being able to see the maker's mark on. I've tried to look at it under a loop, and I'm guessing it's probably some kind of Hammer brand knife. There's really no way to see what this was once, but you can see here it was very heavily used. But the spring here is pretty decent, quite a bit of play. That's probably why he retired it, and that is my best estimation of when he got that one. So the next one I'm guessing he got was this one. Now this is very reminiscent of what was seen in the 40s, so I'm guessing he got this fish knife in the 40s. Has gummy scales, and this is a Camco. So this is a Camco fish knife, and you can see it's not as heavily used. And you can see the pivot there is kind of recessed a little bit. There's a little bit of spreading there. You can see. So this one here has quite a bit of wiggle too. So that one was probably retired because of that as well. So the next one I think he possibly got was this Boker. The Boker, I believe, is from the 60s. I'm going to take a guess at. And this is a Boker USA modeled Barlow. And the springs are quite worn out. Getting this main blade to show off is a little bit of a trick without cutting myself. That one has the best amount of spring, but you can see there's the model number, and here's the reverse. So he had this one, which I'm guessing is probably from the 60s, maybe late 50s. Okay, That's how we're looking here. The next one I believe he bought was the Texas toothpick that I have, and that one's from the 70s. Okay, I've shown that in a past video and it's tucked away, so I'm not going to show that right now. But the next one I think he actually bought was this little case penknife. This is a gorgeous little knife, and the reason why I think he stopped carrying it is because the blades got crossed. So it closed like that, and then this one closed over it, so you couldn't actually access the blades. And I think because of that, he stopped using it, and this is, in result, probably the best conditioned knife out of what he gave me. The other two here, I don't think he actually used that much and just bought for himself, thinking he would use them. So then there is this small case penknife. Next one would be this Schrade, and this is a Schrade USA, and this is a, let me see if I can see it better here on the lens here. I'm going to say 1080T, I think, but it's basically a small Stockman, okay? And this was probably bought in the 80s. I'm going to say in the 80s because there's barely almost any use on this. This is probably one that I actually will use and carry. So there's that. And the last one I think he bought was this SD Classic, which has the least amount of use on it out of all the knives. And I think he bought this in the late 90s. The stamp matches up with what they were doing in the 90s, and the rivets match up with what they were doing in the 90s. So it's probably 90s, early 2000s. He probably bought this in an Ace Hardware and really didn't think much of it. Just thought, hey, this is a small knife I need for my nails, and open up packages. I mean, at that point, he was probably, yeah, in his 80s, so don't need a lot for that. So these are my grandfather's knives. I'm very excited to have them. I do miss him, but I had him for a very long time, and I'm not going to say I'm upset with his passing because I had him in my life for a very long time, and I'm very happy to be able to say I have all of his pocket knives. Now, you're probably wondering, okay, Mark, are you going to restore these? Are you going to work on them? I don't think so. I want to leave them really the way he left them when he stopped using them, and I'll probably put all these, including the Texas Jack that I have from him, in a display case. And what I might do at most is just polish them. Okay, I might leave the blades the same, but polish everything else to a nice high polish so it's at least presentable. So I thought you guys would enjoy this video. Till the next one, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.